back, everybody. Today we're talking about the latest incarnation of the SRVV jet brake threaded for 14mm threaded AKs. And this one here chops off a little bit of the length, reduces a little bit of the weight of the big brother. So what we're going to do is just keep shooting it, check out maybe a night test and see what kind of flash signature we're getting from it, talk about the features of it, and that should pretty much do it.
We're going to fire the rifle with no muzzle device on there at all, just to sort of get a baseline and see how that looks. Let's see how this short SRVV brake does at night here with terms of flash. We're just firing 7 and 6 out of a 16-inch barrel.
A lot of folks watching this video probably watched the review I did of this 14mm thread pattern jet brake, which is excellent. It's an excellent brake. It does a great job of all the things we're going to talk about here in the short one. But the reason this one came out and it was so long was basically it was an adaptation of their 24mm version, which made sense, right? So that one worked really well, the 24mm version. So they made the 14mm version, and you can see here on a 14mm threaded AK, the threads aren't quite as long as they are on a 24mm brake. So basically what ended up happening here is on this jet brake, there's pretty much solid steel all the way down until about right here, maybe the first V of the SRVV logo, outside of the milled out portion, of course. And that added a bunch of weight that really wasn't there. And also there was no chambers there, so it's not doing anything else to help mitigate, muzzle rise and things like that. So it was just an adaptation, which works fine, but there is a little bit extra weight there that just doesn't need to be there for the properties of the actual brake. So SRVV took our recommendation to try to shave some weight off, and they came up with a jet brake, which you can see here, where it lines up with the threads. Basically, as soon as the threads end, those chambers in there start doing their job. So that's why it's designed that way, and why they improved upon, in my opinion, this version here. And really, the recoil mitigation is almost identical. Really, the only advantage I can see in terms of muzzle rise and things like that is just the added weight. But functionally, it's not. The longer version is not doing anything that the short version here isn't doing. So certainly a step in the right direction, in my opinion, and it does shave some weight. So let's show that here. Turn my little scale on, and we'll show you what the original one weighs in at, which is a pretty heavy muzzle device for sure. Weighs in just at 9.13 ounces. And this one here comes in under 7 ounces. So really you're shaving a good bit of weight off there. That weight reduction is great. And for those of you that are new to the brake, I'll explain sort of how it works and the principles of it. The ports here on the side are angled at a 30-degree backward angle. And what that does is when you actually fire your shot and the recoil impulse is going back into your shoulder, the brake here is actually pulling forward. So it's completely counteracting that force. Not completely, but largely counteracting that force. So your felt recoil goes way down due to the angle of those ports. The ports also direct energy and gases to the side. Same thing here on the top ports, directing energy and gases upward, and that's going to help keep your muzzle flat. So in terms of just flat shooting characteristics, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the Jet is among the best, if not the best, AK product out there for doing that, and just it does an excellent job there. This break being from SRVV is straight from the motherland of Russia. So a lot of folks out there who are AK junkies and really want authentic Russian stuff are drawn to it. This one here was also recently tested and then selected for a division of the federal police over in Russia. So a lot of folks like that as well because it's showing up in a lot of pictures and media events. So it is a popular little break out there. The downside of that is that it's not going to count for 922R compliance for those of you guys that are concerned about that on your rifles because obviously it's not a US made part. It comes to market at, I believe, $89 here in the US through the exclusive SRVV distributor here, which is Circle 10 AK, circle10ak.com. Great guys over there at Circle 10 AK, but since it does come from Russia, sometimes the shipments are a little bit delayed. If you're ordering, you know, it might take a little bit, but Luke over there, the guy who runs Circle 10 AK, will always let you guys know lead times approximate, at least as best that he can anyway, on these products. But definitely a cool little product, and the Jet works as advertised. Everybody out there on the forums who's tried these since my initial review seems to agree with me on that one. If you guys have any questions about these, anything else to talk about here on the channel, you can always post below in the comment section. You can also post over at my Facebook page as always. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. I hope to see you in the next video.